Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to Torch Tales, Stories Behind the Hood. I'm your host, Frank Vargas, aka Tyler and Frankie. And what are we going to be talking about today? Well, we're going to talk about a gas that's hotter than hell, a gas that's hotter than lava. What is that gas? It's acetylene. What the heck is acetylene? The gas that cuts, welds, and terrifies OSHA. It really, really does. What's going on? So let's talk acetylene, right? Have you heard of this gas? I'm sure you have, but do you know a little bit more about where it comes from, what it does, and what else? Well, it's that gas that can roast a brisket in 3 seconds flat. That's if you haven't really blown up your garage. Yep, again, we're talking about acetylene. Where does it come from? Why do we still use acetylene after over 100 years ago, when it was made? So acetylene is a colorless flammable gas. Think of it as the high-octane fuel for your torch. It's the only fuel gas that can weld steel on its own. There's other gases out there that can reach that temperature, but let's just say that acetylene is the OG. Basically, if propane is your backyard barbecue, acetylene is your flamethrower with a tuxedo. Where does it come from? Well, acetylene is made when calcium carbide reacts with water. That's right, just a rock, some H2O, and boom, you've got gas, and now you can set it on fire, right? How easy is that? So the chemical reaction is CaC2 plus 2H2O. Translation, rock, water equals gas, sludge, fire. Now, acetylene was discovered in 1836 by Edmond Davy, but it wasn't until 1860 when French chemist Marcelin Berthelot figured out how to produce it by passing an electrical arc through methane. But later in 1892, the industrial method that is used today was developed, which involves reacting calcium carbide with water. And that gave us a practical way to make acetylene gas, and a cheaper way. Why is this such a big deal? Well, one, because it's hotter than hell. Also, because it's easy to produce, and when mixed with oxygen, it reaches temperatures 5700 plus Fahrenheit, which is actually hotter than lava. What kind of stuff is it used for? Besides being the MVP of cutting torches, acetylene is used in welding, brazing, metal cutting, preheating, making plastic, and a bunch of other stuff. Even back in the day, it lit up street lamps and mining helmets, because nothing says safety like strapping an explosive gas to your forehead, right? Just, imagine that. I'm sure you can. But when it comes to mobility and off-grid power, an acetylene torch system are still the go-to option. Any downsides to it? Well, just a few tiny ones. It's unstable as hell if compressed over 15 psi. That's why it's dissolved in acetone and stored in special cylinders filled with a mass material. But if it's laid on its side, well, good luck having your insurance claim pass. There's a lot of stuff that can happen. The acetone can leak through the valves and a bunch of different problems. Today, acetylene is produced all over the globe, often a part of larger industrial operations. But some of the top producers in the world are Linde Group out of Germany, Air Liquide, French base, Air Products, Prax Air, now part of Linde, Taijo Nippon Sanso out of Japan, the Messer Group. You get the idea. Some of these huge, big names are the ones making most of the acetylene around the world. So that's acetylene. Dangerous, dependable, hotter than hell. Whether you're welding, cutting, or just trying to look cool holding a torch, now you know what's lighting the fire. So the next time you fire up that oxy-fuel torch, take a second to appreciate the fascinating journey of acetylene, from the 1800s lab experiments to modern-day metal masterpieces. There you go. Stay lit, stay sharp, and keep sparking change out there. I'm Frank Vargas with Torch Tales. I'll catch you on the next flame.